meditation and mindfulness. So meditation is the being, if I may, is getting to know ourselves, is training our brain to a new being. Mindfulness is, let's say, the doing. It's how we use this meditation foundational new skill to be mindful during the day, to be more aware and more present during the day. So when we are doing that through the meditation practice, it's enabling us to be fully present in the process of learning. And being aware of what we are doing, what we are feeling, will help us identify when we are in a fixed mindset. When we answer or where we think we have a thought and we identify the thought, because a million times we have tell our brain to go back to the breath when we notice we have thoughts coming in our mind. So we are aware when we are in a fixed mindset. So memory power, learning power, and with that comes the confidence in our abilities. And when we know even more scientifically how it works, it's really strengthened our confidence. Meditation is helping us to be more patient with ourselves, with no judgment. It's not judging all the time what we are doing, feeling guilty, not forgiving us about our mistakes, no judgment. We just observe. We learn to observe ourselves, no interpretation, no making stories in our mind.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. We are into the 9th day of the program Mindful, where we are learning how meditation helps with many of our day-to-day activities, including work. Right? How do we implement the concepts and the aspects of meditation and how it helps in our day-to-day work and home life, right? So yesterday we learned, from Lawrence, a wonderful topic about art and science of creativity, and she beautifully covered the difference between the fixed mindset to growth mindset, right? How meditation helps us to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So today, a related topic, but a topic which is very dear to me, which I feel one of the most important topics, and that is mindful adoption of change and planning. So change is everywhere. We see, I was just listening to a TED talk, that heart that it beats within us, it carries hemoglobin, right? And essentially it is iron. And for the iron to have formed, it was only possible because of billions of stars colliding, right? The process of supernova. So, and even as we speak, things are changing around us. Billions of stars are getting created. New plants are getting formed. However, we also recognize that change in our day-to-day life is one of the leading causes of stress. So let's understand today, how do we recognize change? How does meditation help us to adopt change? And some concepts around it, right? So let me just share slide. So we start with recognizing change. I like this cartoon, right? So we all want change. But the moment we say, who wants to change, we all disappear. At least that used to be the mindset that I was in before I came into meditation. Why? Because we are very familiar with our current state of affairs, right? We are quite attached to what we are, who we are. We are not prepared to consider something new. Again, we've learned about the art and science of thinking, right? Repeated thoughts, repeated feelings continues to keep us in our same state of being, right? We have also learned our past experiences cloud our ability to see something new. So the uncertainty of change pulls us or creates resistance in us for change. So let's recognize the first thing is change is constant. Everywhere, including our own body. Our lungs tissues gets replaced every 8 days. Our red blood cells changes in a few days. In fact, the heart itself is replaced thrice in our lifetime, right? The bone tissues are getting replaced every day. Every day, billions of cells are replaced. We see things around us, nature. The plants don't remain the same. There are new leaves forming. We see around our work area. So markets change, business environments change. Our home environment change. So change is everywhere. It's constant and it's everywhere. So change is also something that gets thrust on us many a times. And that's again, we'll discuss some more about how this happens, right? And why this happens. But for me, I think the most important recognition is that we have a choice. We have a choice. Change is constant, but we have a choice either to change towards a better future or a future that we do not want. So that choice is in us. And how do I say it's in us, right? So again, let's try to understand from the science point of view. right? For a long period of time, we followed Newtonian model of science, right? And the first law of motion of Newton says an object will remain stationary unless there is an outside force applied, right? So what this means is there should be an external event or source that moves us out of inertia. However, as I got into meditation, I started understanding that we are not just matter, we are not just a physical body, right? We are more energy. We are 99.999% energy. The subatomic particles, the fundamental building blocks of our body or the universe, right? They're all in a constant motion. They're not stationary. And quantum science again says thoughts and feeling create our reality. So with meditation, we understand that while if you look at body as a physical aspect, ourselves as only matter, change is always thrust upon us. Only our environment, our conditions pushes us to change. However, with the understanding of quantum science and understanding of the deeper aspects of meditation, right? As we meditate, we become aware that we change our environment. We have the ability to influence change. So our work environment, when we are working with a team, instead of thinking that my boss is making me do things differently, our teammates are forcing me to do things differently, we start recognizing that the change is for our own growth. So let's understand, how do we go about adapting to change? So Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is one of my favorite authors, right, from whom I've learned quite a bit about manifesting change. He talked about, if you want to create change, you have to do it from a level of energy that is greater than guilt, greater than pain, greater than fear, anger, shame, and greater than unworthiness. Now, if you look at this, what he's essentially saying is, change, for any change to happen, we have to change our emotions. Because the aspect of emotion, of the negative or disastrous emotions, is what causes that resistance to change. The familiar feeling creates old habits. But for us to make a change, we have to build a new habit. We learned about the thinking feeling loop earlier. the feeling or the emotions have to be recognized. And we start recognizing with meditation, because as we become aware, we recognize why there is resistance to change. Why are we resisting to change? If my boss asks me to make a presentation while I have been comfortable working behind the scenes to a larger group in the organization, what is that feeling that comes here? Are you feeling shame? Are you feeling fear? Now, the moment we recognize that is when you have the ability to change. So, crossing the river of change is a beautiful analogy, right? Old self is familiar, predictable. But for a change to happen, we have to get into unfamiliar, unpredictable. So if I have to make a presentation where I have never done, first thing that I have to do is get over that feeling of fear, get over the feeling of shame. With meditation, we understand that there is no fear. Lawrence beautifully talked about fearlessness. However, as we get into the river of change, our feelings pull us back. Suddenly, let's say you want to, your organization asks you to take a different role where you have to meet customer. You have never met customers. You have never dealt with people in your organization. So the moment, and you decide to change, you want to change, right? You change your thought pattern, saying that no, change is good. I want to change. However, the moment you start preparing for it, it's unfamiliar. For example, this making of presentation is new for me. So at that point in time, your body starts to pull you away and say, this is not right. But what it's actually saying is that you're not familiar with it. And we want to move back to the familiar self. However, with meditation, we calm that mind, right? We get into a state of emptiness where the predictable past is no longer holding you back. So friends, I think one of the key things, and while we have heard and learned quite a bit about thought patterns in the recent sessions, I'd like to bring about the emotions, right? Before meditation, for me, and I'm sure many of us can relate to it, we've always been told emotions shows weakness. At least that is how I was programmed with. We've been told that showing of emotions at work means it's not professional, right? So at least I started relating workplace or professionalism as not recognizing emotion. So I stopped understanding what my emotions are. And there are again a whole lot of other prejudices and belief systems that gets formed, from our environment, right, about emotions. Three years ago, I went into a deep, I wouldn't say deep, but I definitely a strong period of depression. For some months, several months, I became quite tough to deal with at home, especially. It became, I could not understand why I'm going through that. But end of several months, I became very, very difficult to speak to. I did not want to speak to anybody else. But at some point, I realized that I was actually quite stagnant. I was feeling that I'm not growing at work or as personally. And I took up a postgraduate diploma at that point in time and said that I need to change. Now, getting into meditation, now I realize that whole period of that 7-8 months, when I went through that anxious moments, when I went through those anxiety, the depression, my body was always saying that you need to change. But since I was not into meditation, I was not recognizing that. The second thing that I learned from that, and it's important that we understand, is growth and learning is key for us to change. Because every one of us are keen to actually learn and grow. But because of our programming, we continue to stay in the same place. So if I was in a state where I was mindful, if I was meditating at that point in time, I would have recognized that feeling much sooner. So the more we practice meditation, the more we learn. Patriji always says we are everybody is spiritual in the human form, right? So we are yearning to learn and grow. So the more we learn, we remove those fear, we remove that past habits, and we become more empathetic, and we are always looking for change. As leaders, if you are managing the team, or if you're responsible for projects, we become more empathetic, understand why the team is not resisting to change, because ultimately any change is not happening because there is some resistance. And the resistance is always born out of some deeper emotions. Change, at least at the work or even at home, wherever, right, or within ourselves, is because of that deeper emotions of fear, anxiety, shame. But the moment we move that away, and with meditation, I started understanding that every moment, everything is a learning. So when I am asked to talk to a customer, it's a learning for me of how customers' business works. When I understand that, instead of going with an fear of what customer will say, instead of I go with an attitude of going to learn about customers' business, I have an opportunity to learn. So we stop resisting the change at that point in time. So change happens when we change our emotions. And with meditation, we recognize that, we become aware, we become spontaneous. Every day is new. Sheetal beautifully spoke the other day that meditation is cleaning our mind. So as we clean it, everything becomes clear. We are no longer anxious about our emotions. We are able to recognize what emotions we are going through. We are not suppressing emotions. I used to suppress my emotions before. But with meditation, I started recognizing what is the emotions, because that is what is telling us how you're feeling about the current moment. So friends, while we talk about change as constant, while we talk about changes everywhere, there is also this paradox of planning, right? At work. So that is an understanding that I started getting confused, when I got into meditation. I learned to be spontaneous as I got into meditation. I started expecting change. I became very comfortable with change. However, at work, we also have to plan. Do we live without planning, or do we live spontaneously? But when in an organization, it doesn't work that way, right? So I had to understand the paradox of the spontaneity versus planning. And this is what I understand. So planning does not mean that we are not living spontaneously or we are not accepting change. So, and I started understanding and implementing planning in everything that we do. And when I say planning, it's as simple as driving to some other place. You are taking a vacation, you plan, right? You buy groceries because you have to plan, for the cooking. So all these are planning, right? Now, so we need to look at and I started looking planning in a different way, right? So we move with meditation, we move from planning from a control mindset to planning to bring clarity. So what do I mean by that? So we stop focusing more on how, but we plan to say what we need to do. We move away from a mindset of scarcity to abundance. If I have to plan a project, am I thinking I don't have enough people? So I start creating a lot of buffers in the plan because my mindset is of scarcity. So I move from that to a mindset of abundance, because at that point in time, you will get it, and you start working towards hiring more people with an understanding that because you are going with a mindset of hiring, you will have. You move from fixed mindset to growth mindset. You move planning with fixed mindset. So you stop obsessing about the plan and go towards growth mindset. You understand that plan can change. You're not too fixated with adhering to that plan. You understand that things can be agile. You move away from being planning with a fear of failure to more goal-oriented. And finally, I think this is something that I am learning, and again, I think this is one of the important aspects that I am learning, is moving away from planning with the idea of perfection to an idea of excellence. You are not looking, perfection leads to analysis of paralysis. Analysis to paralysis, right? Because you are too obsessed with how you have to know every detail before you move forward. Instead, we look at excellence. And for me, excellence is at this current moment, what is the best thing to do? So you are living at the moment rather than worrying too much about the future. You do what is the best that you can do at this point in time. That is excellence. It may not be perfect, and we know we are not perfect, right? So when you approach your planning, and it takes courage, and meditation helps us to give that courage. You are not worried what others will think, because perfection means you want to make sure that others do not find fault with it. However, excellence means you are satisfied that you have done the best with the information that you have today, with the resources that you have today. So we completely change the way we look at planning with meditation, because mindfulness is about current moment. So finally, friends, I know I'm taking a slightly longer because this is a topic very, very interesting topic. So this is a quote which I have held dear for a long time, that never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We at Buddha CEO, we believe that, because, and everybody is Buddha here. We the small team, small group of people have the ability to change. We spread the meditation, we spread the concept of meditation, practice of meditation, and we can change the world because we become more mindful. So friends, let's get into the practice of meditation today. We focus on practice all the time. So we practice, for those of you who are new, a technique called Anapanasati, where we observe our breath, we close our eyes, sit in a relaxed position, clasp our fingers together, cross our feet at the ankle if we are sitting, or we can sit in a comfortable position. It's okay to take a back rest. There is no issue, and we then observe the breath. So as we observe the breath, we start reducing the thoughts. The thought starts reducing, and we go into the emptiness state. So friends, let's get into the meditation. Relax, close your eyes. Remove your specs if you're wearing.
Friends, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation with your fingers into fingers, placing your hands comfortably in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. In this meditation, we observe the breath and allow ourselves to slowly become empty of all thoughts in our mind for the whole duration. Our goal is to empty the mind. Our goal is to merge into that greater emptiness, that quantum energy field. yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to slowly and slowly become empty of all thoughts in your mind. Allow yourself to become totally empty of all thoughts in your mind. As your mind is empty, can you find that emptiness inside of you, all around you? Become aware of that emptiness, where there's no body, where there's nothing, in no place and no time. The longer you stay in this field as no body, as nothing, the more you become of it and the more you receive from it. If you find yourself distracted in thought, gently go back to observing your breath and slowly find that emptiness all around. less matter, more energy. Allow yourself to stay away from your body, stay away from your life, and allow yourself to merge into this emptiness, that quantum energy. The more we experience this energy, dear friends, the more open we become, the more miraculous we become. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness of yourself. This is your divine self. This is your greater intelligence, that quantum consciousness. If you find yourself in thought, gently go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to stay connected to this emptiness of no body, of nothing, and experience this energy, dear friends. oneself to stay connected, this abundance of energy field, we are less matter, more energy. The longer we stay as nobody, as nothing in no place and time, the more we experience this energy, the more opportunities we receive into our life. Go deeper and deeper into this emptiness. The more you're connected into this field, the more you experience your wholeness and oneness. Friends, let's express gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Our thoughts send the signal out, but the feelings draw the events into our life. So express your gratitude to all things and everybody, your parents, your teachers, your mentors, all the people, your friends, family, colleagues, this nature, all the things you, system that support you, and to yourself, to this consciousness, this universe. Relax your body. Feel your body. And recollect your experience from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then open your eyes.
Thanks. I hope you had a good session. I know we are a few minutes past time, so if you have other commitments, you can drop off, but we'll stay for a few more minutes, in case of any questions or sharing. Sheetal, you want to share your comments on the topic of change?
Thank you so much, Rakesh. It was really, really beautiful way to see how change is important in our life, right? So, and what kind of changes it is going to make inside our body when we decided to change, and how we are going to receive everything from outside. Beautifully explained, and I love the presentation, all the slides with the beautiful, beautiful cartoon representing concepts. Really amazing, and meditation was excellent, Rakesh. Thank you so much. Yes, before meditation, I was resistant to change because I thought I'm already perfect. But after coming into meditation, I realized that the change is happening every moment of my life. Thank you so much, Rakesh.
Thank you, Sheetal. Yes, Prachi. Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, Prachi.
Yeah, it was a wonderful session of meditation. But just one question I had, I've been doing meditation from past 10, 15 days, but sometimes I feel like I don't know if it's a trance state or if it's a sleep state. So, like, what is the difference between that? Because sometimes I feel I may have slept. Sometimes I feel I don't know, but it's not like I'm sleeping. It may be trance. I don't know. I'm not able to identify between both. I mean, I'm not analyzing, but just for my reference.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's fine. Again, I think in the initial stages, we go through that because those experiences are new. So we want to understand. It could be both, right? I think over a period of practice, you'll understand. If you recognize that at some point you've come back to the guidance, then you probably are in trance. But either way, it is good, right? Because
sometimes I don't. I don't remember where I was. Like, it's like how you go into sleep, and then I think sometimes I feel I've slept. I guess.
yeah, no, it's in fact sleep during meditation is more powerful because again, when we say sleep, we are going into a state of delta, right? So where the healing happens, deeper sleep. So perfectly fine, right? And you, again, I mean, there is no need for recognition, need to understand whether you are in trance or sleep. The fact that you are in that state means you have gone into the emptiness state, right? And it is good. So continue the practice. the more you practice, the more you understand. You start understanding some of these things as you practice, right? What it means to you. It need not mean anything as well. You enjoy the experience. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's great that you are. It means you are really sincerely practicing meditation, and continue the practice. The more we practice, more benefits that we see. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else wants to share? Have any questions? Sure. So if there are no other questions, we can wind up. Geeta Manivananji, you want to share something? Sure. So thank you, friends. Thank you for joining. Wonderful to have you all continue this journey. And we'll come back again tomorrow with another interesting topic of how meditation helps in our day-to-day life. Thank you. You want to share? Let's just
and I celebrate who I am.
go ahead, Sven. Sure, friends. Thank you. Thank you for staying.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you so much.
Gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude gratitude behind
Bye, friends.
me.
Thank you.
Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the